Soft, melancholic piano music begins, layered with the distant chime of Oxford bells. A slight, breathy sigh precedes the voice. "Oh, darling, let me tell you about Exeter College. It feels almost indecent to speak of it, to dredge up the silt of disappointment that clings to the memory. You see, some places promise echoes of eternity, a resonance with centuries of brilliance. Exeter. It delivers a profound and rather vulgar letdown. I went, hoping for Austin, and found something else entirely. Something that felt less like a sanctuary of learning and more like a decaying stage set for a play no one bothered to write. It begins, as these things often do, with a yearning. A fragile, almost shameful desire for beauty. You understand, have standards. My grandmother, bless her heart, used to say a chipped teacup is a testament to a life lived, but a generally neglected institution. That, my dears, is merely a symptom of a deeper malaise. You wouldn't believe how crucial presentation is. It's a language, isn't it? It speaks of respect, of care, of an understanding that some things are worth preserving. And Exeter right now, it's speaking volumes in the dialect of apathy. I heard murmurings, you see, whispers from alumni, dreadful things. A dear family friend, an aesthetics professor, actually flinches when the college is mentioned. She confided, her voice trembling, that the Virginia creeper, that magnificent cascade of crimson and gold that once adorned the walls, is dead. Can you fathom such a tragedy? A living tapestry allowed to simply expire. Like a forgotten promise, it's like letting a Rembrandt gather dust in the attic. Don't you agree? It's not just about the plant, is it? It's about the symbolism, a dying vine. That's a visual metaphor for institutional decline, sweethearts. They had scaffolding too, everywhere, massive steel structures clawing at the ancient stonework. I get it, things need repair, everything does eventually. But the scaffolding wasn't for delicate restoration. Oh no, it was substantial, intimidating even. And naturally some bright spark thought it would be a splendid idea to climb it. Don't judge. One feels compelled in the face of such architectural chaos. Someone, a Mr. Isaac Channon, if you must know, attempted a scaling. And was, of course, promptly kicked out. Can you believe the audacity? To deny a man his momentary act of rebellious whimsy against a backdrop of architectural neglect. It's a tyranny of the mundane. It's like punishing a child for noticing the emperor has no clothes. The world needs a little chaos, don't you think? It's the spice of life. But honestly, the scaffolding was the least of it. It was as if even the building itself was issuing a silent scream of protest. The quad, a space meant for contemplation, for intellectual discourse, it was scarred. Patches of brown earth where a temporary dining area had been, lingering for months apparently. Months, a gaping wound in the heart of the college. No swift remediation, no visible sign of care. They just left it to fester like an unresolved trauma. And then there was the formal. Oh, the formal. I imagined a scene from a Merchant Ivory film, didn't you? Gowns swirling, candlelight, witty repartee, intellectual sparks flying. What I got was a source of enduring psychological distress. I had my camera, of course. One must document these things. Capture the fleeting moments of beauty, preserve them against the relentless march of time. It was a rather exquisite camera, a Leica, a gift from my grandfather. It's not just a device, it's a lineage. A dedication to the art of seeing. I raised it, intending to capture the ambience, the light, the feeling, and then she descended. A server with a face like a granite gargle. She marched directly toward me, pointing a finger with the ferocity of a seasoned inquisitor. Next time...
Okay, so I was, looking into stuff around Exeter College, you know? Just seeing what happens there. It's not a very cheerful topic, honestly. Businesses near Exeter College, Oxford, they sometimes try to get away with things. It's just sad, really. Like a lot of the shops around there, especially down Cowley Road, they aren't always what they seem. They look normal, right? You walk past, thinking you can get a little souvenir, maybe some tobacco if you never mind. But some of them, like this one called Khalifa Superstore, it was a disaster. Businesses here are like masters of hiding things. Apparently the old owner, this guy Merwin Sal, was fined because they found a ton of illegal stuff hidden in secret compartments. Electromagnets, can you believe that? Like, who thinks of that? They had cigarettes, shisha, tobacco, vapes, so many vapes with way too much nicotine. And a lot of it didn't even have English labels, you know, for tourists who don't speak the language. It's just, how could anyone do that? Putting people at risk. Probably some tourists bought those vapes, thinking they were okay, and then got seriously sick. I bet some of them had to go to the hospital, maybe even had to cut their Oxford trip short. And the shop, They probably just got a fine and reopened under a different name. It's awful, isn't it? Like you think Oxford is all old buildings and fancy colleges, but under the surface it's a bit messy. And it's not just about the health risks, you know? It's about the money. People are saving up for their trip to see Exeter College to experience Oxford, and then they're getting ripped off. I bet those shop owners are just laughing all the way to the bank. It's just depressing. Honestly, you have to be so careful when you're walking around there.
The businesses surrounding Exeter College, Oxford, well, let's just say they've left me feeling rather disheartened. It's as if a cloud of quiet desperation hangs over every storefront, a gentle but persistent drizzle of disappointment. They are, broadly speaking, a collection of establishments that seem to prioritize profit over people, convenience over care, and aesthetic appeal over actual functionality. It's not malicious, not exactly, just profoundly underwhelming, and frankly a little bit worrying. Let's begin with the larger complexes, places like Westgate Oxford. It's presented as a gleaming beacon of modern shopping, but what you find is more akin to a beautifully wrapped package containing, well, not much. The overwhelming theme here appears to be a systemic disregard for basic customer needs. Fire drills, for example, aren't just drills when you're left stranded in the rain, belongings inaccessible, and then charged for the inconvenience. It feels less like safety protocol and more like a calculated annoyance, a subtle flexing of power over patrons. It leaves you with a knot in your stomach, doesn't it? A suspicion that they want you to be slightly inconvenienced, slightly stressed. It's a power dynamic disguised as public safety, and then there are the charging points. Promising 50 spaces, yet consistently finding 0 available. It's the equivalent of advertising a feast and then serving crumbs. The underlying message is clear: your convenience isn't a priority. One can't help but feel a sting of frustration, a tiny betrayal of trust. You picture the management team, perhaps chuckling quietly as drivers circle, desperately seeking a charge. It doesn't end there. Toilets hidden away on distant floors, slippery floors inviting unwanted acrobatics, a pervasive chill that settles deep in your bones. The complaints about empty units echo a broader sense of stagnation, of a place struggling to find its identity. Parking, of course, is a minefield. Queues stretching into eternity, apps that refuse to cooperate, and a general sense of being fleeced. It's a parking scam waiting to happen, a quiet robbery carried out in broad daylight. My heart aches for the vulnerable, the tourists, the elderly, those who are easily intimidated. Moving on, we have Face Oxford. On the surface, a beauty treatment centre. However, judging by the feedback, a single experience suggests a gap between expectation and reality. A hydrofacial that doesn't deliver, a rushed consultation. It's a reminder that sometimes what's promised isn't what you receive. It's a small thing perhaps, but these small things accumulate, eroding trust, creating a general sense of unease. It feels lonely, doesn't it? The feeling of being a transaction, not a person. Then there's Al-Shami. Oh, Al-Shami. The reviews paint a rather grim picture. Food described as tasteless, portions designed for a dole, service that seems actively hostile. A birthday ruined, promises broken, a sense of utter disregard for customer satisfaction. The stories of cold meze arriving in plastic bags, lamb cremated beyond recognition, and French fries swimming in ancient oil, they conjure a kitchen operating in a state of quiet chaos. There's an undercurrent of sadness here, a sense of a once promising establishment that has lost its way. It's as if the chef has simply given up, and to be told they were rude to those speaking Arabic, that's just unforgivable. A betrayal of basic human decency. And then we arrive at Missing Bean Turlesant, a place that promises artisanal coffee and charming pastries, but delivers lukewarm beverages, dry cakes, and staff who seem actively disinterested in your existence. The story of the flies feasting on uncovered pastries, it's a visual that will stay with me for a while.
The passive-aggressive notes demanding that customers stop working in a coffee shop. The refusal to provide Wi-Fi. The sheer, unadulterated rudeness. It's a baffling combination of incompetence and arrogance. It's a place where your money is not valued, your time is not respected, and your presence is barely tolerated. It feels degrading. The Oxford Playhouse, a supposed haven for culture, fares little better. Issues with booking, cancelled performances, and a general lack of organisation. Complains of a panto so poor it's a waste of money. It's a theatre that seems to be resting on its laurels.